intuitive breeze with Miss Jenny says. Don't sweat the small stuff, right? During this time, I realized that my thoughts would follow a certain pattern as I contemplated a solution to balancing work with motherhood. If I was fatigued, which of course, being sleep deprived I was, then I would become depressed. My thoughts kept circling around how I was able to hold up the same standards for my work, which had been previously all-consuming, and find time to raise a child. I would spiral even lower. Luckily, after about 10,000 runs on this identical hamster wheel of thought, I had an insight, and I finally stepped off. I simply noticed the train of thought I would get into when I was tired and low. I learned to say something like this to myself: "Oh, there you go again. You don't want to go there, girl." And I would manage to stop myself. It was one of the simplest insights I've ever had, but clearly one of the most powerful. After all, what comes first, the thought or the feeling? It's imperative to avoid getting caught up in your thinking, particularly if you want toolbox. Oh, a screwdriver. Most of us have mental tapes that repeat in our heads over and over. These repetitive thoughts are nothing more than falling prey to a negative mental habit. And unfortunately, our lives are a series of both positive and negative mental habits in living color. I call this type of mental habit a hamster wheel, a circular thinking in it. One thought is connected to another thought, and so on. Generally, these thoughts follow a remarkably similar pattern. Typically, if you have such thoughts when you're discontented or frustrated, and you experience them only while in a low mood. Need your tool belt on?
Yes.
Hold his head steady while tying this. And you experience them only while in a low mood. I'd like to share a most personal example with you. It helped me to, whoa! It wiggles. It helped me to understand my own mental dynamic while making the transition from career woman to working mom, and then finally to stay-at-home mom. It was such a shock bringing our first newborn infant home from the hospital. I had no idea how consuming the responsibility of parenthood would be, and the devotion it took to be a nursing mom. I had previously worked very diligently in my graphic design business, and I was devoted to success. However, there was no comparison to the daily and nightly tasks of taking care of an infant, right? So, unless you want to be known for being a gossip who will say anything to anyone, try to limit our gossip to one friend. Along the same lines, we can use the challenges of a material world to help us grow and become better people. For example, owning a computer is a material convenience, but when it crashes, do you freak out?